Hey guys,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Sierra.
We're ladies.
And we tangent. Do my space sounds look stupid from this angle? Cute.
I'm just waiting for
They're falling out.
my extensions to out me and embarrass me.
Well, welcome to my buns, because they're coming out.
No, but they're cute, but they are your hair. You're not going to see, like, listen, if you have extensions, I will clock it.
Yeah.
I'll clock it and I will stare at your
Weft.
your weft line.
Yeah.
What's that called?
No, it's just what the fuck is that? Track?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will stare at it
Yeah.
forever. And like, I know.
I knew you were messing with your hair a lot when we went out to eat, and I was like, girl, you're good. You can't see anything. You're fine. Don't even worry about it.
The red that I got is so very different than my actual red hair.
It actually blends very well. Though.
I blew them dry together and brushed them with my Dyson to give myself a blowout. So
good.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Thanks. Anyways,
what's up, everyone? Hello.
I'm so sorry. I have to get this off your forehead.
Oh my God, there's something on my forehead?
Yep.
Embarrassing. What was it?
It's just Ash Wednesday stuff.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I'm a little early.
It's never too soon to celebrate.
Anyways, what the fuck's been up?
What the fuck has been up? Well,
I think we should talk about
I got hair.
what?
I got hair.
I got hair.
Oh, down to there.
I got hair.
Oh,
and
I got hair.
Not where I was going.
Oh.
But I like it.
Can
Down
I
there?
Well, sure, today.
Okay.
But also, so you guys know that I like to cut my own hair.
Yeah, we've been new.
Having extensions
You just keep cutting them.
is the fucking best.
Yeah, you're just fucking up your.
Oh my God. I cut them to blend.
Yeah, I get it.
But I was sitting in front of the mirror yesterday, just like Edward Scissorhanding the fuck out of my head. Oh, it was so therapeutic. Almost just like, I don't know. There was
Came.
No, there was something in my throat whenever I come. No, whenever I went, oh, I thought I was, you know what I mean?
I do. I thought you were gonna be like,
No, it was like, no, it's like dry. It was just like dryness that I thought was gonna come up.
Right.
Anyway, it was really therapeutic to cut my extensions.
Good. You need an outlet that's not your own hair. Sometimes I feel.
Well, I mean, I took the extensions out and I was like, methinks I also cut my hair. So I also gave myself kind of like some additional layers.
Well,
but what I cut off, like I could tell what was mine and what wasn't mine because of the difference in reds.
because it is. Yeah, it's definitely different reds.
Yeah, I'm much blonder.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what were we going to talk about? Snowmen?
Starbucks.
Oh,
if you wanted to
yes.
Head that off.
Oh, yeah, I
We
forgot.
can pause this. And Jerry, right now, before you cut it, you know.
Yeah, Starbucks.
Yeah.
So we wanted to thank everybody who took a moment to let us know that there's some controversy and some boycotting happening, not only with Starbucks, but also with Disney, McDonald's, Pepsi, Twix. I looked up.
Of course, there's going to be some. Yeah. That's the thing with big corporations. Welcome to capitalism.
Yeah, for sure.
It's yucky.
But I said this to Sierra because, one, truly the only reason I told that story in the first place was because I needed someone to know that this man got hit by a truck.
It was really so much less about the coffee and more about the way that this man dresses up for us. Like, that's what we were really...
And gets hit by automobiles. But I as much as our job is online, I am not online that often.
I'm online less because our job is so online now, because I'm on there for work. And then when I like don't do a lot of scrolling or anything. People are like, I can't see how people wouldn't know. And it's like, well, because if you're not on certain platforms and the algorithm
frequently
isn't algorithming that way, how would you know?
I'll tell you what I have been on and why I haven't been on social media that often. But what I did say to Sierra was, I am so fucking thankful for our audience and the relationship that we've created, because the first And many of the comments that we received that were talking about Starbucks, which I feel like even addressing it now feels like making it a bigger deal. But the point that I wanted to highlight was that someone said, as soon as they started talking about it, I thought, oh no, they don't know. And I don't think you guys understand how big of a deal that is to know that we have established ourselves as people who do care. And if we do misspeak, or highlight something that
or just
doesn't align with us,
ignorance a little bit.
Right. That people's first thought was they must not know because that's not who they would be. And like, I know it's not that deep really, but like to me, it is incredibly deep for someone to see me and say, I'm thinking
not
the
immediately
best.
think the worst. Yeah.
I cannot tell you, my therapist is going to scream. I almost said the other one. I was like, I can't make my therapist come. I've tried. No,
my therapist will be scorning.
So inappropriate. She's probably going to drop me as a client now.
I'm so sorry, therapist.
Yeah. But
whomever you are, I don't know, doctor-patient confidentiality.
That's true. You can't tell people that's who you are.
I'm the therapist.
I've never tried to make you come.
And you won't. I won't do it.
I shan't, I can't. I won't. I can't.
So anyways.
Yeah, it means a lot to know that people take a second and when they're viewing us, they do so through a really, I believe, accurate and positive lens, and that just means the world to me. So thank you guys for letting us know, and also for seeing us. I also Googled it then because I'm like, what's the going on?
Yeah,
and like what I found, and from what people were saying, is that Starbucks sued somebody who was pro-Palestinian. Obviously, look that up because there are words that I'm missing that matter in that sentence. But then and was also sending funds to fund the Israeli force or whatever, military.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense. But then I also saw that someone was like, people are boycotting it because they came out as pro-Palestinian. And I'm like, those are complete fucking mixed messages.
I was going to say that to you, where I was like, I don't know. That's why I'm saying when the algorithm is algorithming, I just feel like there's a lot of mixed messages happening.
Yeah.
Because I saw also both of those things, and I got messages about both of those things.
Yeah. And so I
was like,
we're not weighing in on how we feel about it. Like we've just been making our own coffee, honestly, because we're confused.
I've been making my own coffee for about 6 months now.
Making my way to coffee.
Because I like a specific kind of coffee and this silk almond creamer.
This cookie stuff.
This shit is fucking delicious. And so even when you were saying that, I was like, I have to tell you, I literally don't even drink coffee from places that aren't my own kitchen that often, like at all anymore. So truly.
But I just thought it was bizarre with the mixed messages. And also, I have complicated feelings about it because as much as I don't want to support a corporation who's making decisions that I don't believe align with my own morality.
The workers.
There are also people who are there.
Because I know the people that work at our Starbucks. And we have friends there.
There were times that people were being laid off because of, or like their shifts were getting cut, or people were just like, they were cutting my hours. And so I had to quit and I had to go work somewhere else. So like it's so fucking nuanced and complicated because you want to stick it to the man, but then there's so many middlemen that you like don't want to stick it to.
Actually, because the man, let's be real, is he really getting
us all?
Well, yeah, and is he going to get the brunt of it, or is it going to be the workers that are going to take the fucking?
I don't know.
It's sad. It's sad.
It is sad. And I hope that then the man would be like, oh, fuck my workers. I don't want him to fuck his workers. I want him to be like, oh, I care about my people. But
Do you think he does?
I know. I know. So. I would also hope that elected officials care about people, but here the fuck we are.
Capitalism
anyway.
And
We went to LA and I cried in an elevator, guys.
Okay, everyone, we'll talk to you about LA since let's get off of
pivot,
that.
Probably an inappropriate one, but
it seems necessary at this point because you get it.
You get it.
You don't want us. We get so many 1-star reviews that are like, they feel like, what do they call us?
I don't know, stupid.
Well, yeah, but
not funny.
Also that there's like a
bitches.
Is there like a god complex or something in
the superiority complex?
That's it. Superior. So I'm not trying to fucking preach at people. I'll just tell you about LA and how we got made fun of.
Oh my God. I forgot about us getting made fun of.
Well, I haven't stopped thinking about it.
I really hope this isn't true. I hope it's not true because
there is a reason why I brought it up.
It would make me very sad if it was true. And I think you guys also know that Sierra and I are different. There were so many times where we'd go out to a restaurant together and someone would be looking in our table's general direction and Sierra would be like, what the fuck are they looking at? Is something on my face? Does my hair look stupid? Is my outfit stupid? And then I would be like, oh, I think they probably like my coat. They think maybe that we are pretty, or maybe they played basketball against me and they recognize us from something
wrong.
Very different. And so the reason I bring that up is because
in LA,
I tried very hard in the moment where Sierra's like, this is my fucking nightmare, to be like, maybe they're not laughing at us. But I can't not figure out what else they would have been doing.
So here's the deal. We went to LA, everybody. If you haven't heard, we went to LA for Patreon's Creator Fest, which honestly was fucking awesome. I loved it. I had a really good time. It was just a lot of creative people, a lot of
aspiring creators.
Yeah, and just so much like enthusiasm, I guess is the word. We got to listen to the CEO talk about how he created Patreon, and if you're very much like me where it's like stick it to the man, I do like to hear from people who felt like that and then we're like, actually I'm going to do that and create a company where that happens. So if you haven't heard about, I'm just kind of going off on Patreon for a minute, but we have a platform there. So like, if you haven't heard of his story, I encourage you to go listen to it, I guess. Yeah. If there's a spot where he talks about it, maybe I'm sure
maybe somewhere.
Yeah. So anyways,
Jack Conti, if you're in the audience right now, stand up. Go ahead and stand up, Jack. Let the people know where you're at.
But essentially, he was a musician first.
Yes.
Put his stuff on YouTube because that was back in like early 2000s where people weren't really showing how the creative process was happening. He started posting music with him and his wife on YouTube. Shit started blowing up. So they started selling shows out and doing all of these things. And then it came to a point where Shmoo was not paying them adequately. You are getting millions of views and you're making $1,000 off of millions of views. That's crazy.
And the video specifically cost thousands of dollars to make and so much time. And like a lot about creation is not just about the money part of it, but feeling valued in what you're doing,
what you're creating, what you're giving to people, which is essentially entertainment and like happiness, serotonin in a way.
Yeah.
So anyways, then he was like, this is not for creators. This is for business people. And I want to create something that's more for creators. Right. And so that's what he did.
Because he's like, I understand why Facebook, TikTok, Instagram has created different things to continue to build their businesses and make the people with money happy, which is the advertisers. And he's like, but the creator and their connection with their audience is suffering. Yeah.
So that's what he set out to do. I feel like that's what he did. Anyway, so there was a big moment of that. It was just like a little bit of like, I felt this feeling inside of me.
She kept saying, I think I'm going to give birth to an idea.
To something. Like I felt pregnant with creativeness. And so
creativity.
That's it. That's the fucking word.
Certainly not vocabulary though.
No, not vocabulary. So anyways,
vocabulosity.
That part of it was fucking great. Okay. I was starting to feel really good. However, then Jerry was like, oh my God, there's a fucking photo booth over here. You should come be a part of this. And I was
when
like,
I tell you, we are in a place where creating is the purpose and everyone's got their phones out. There were some people who had like camera crews following them around, like with shirts that said like producer, director, cameraman.
content was happening, baby.
And it was, no one was batting an eye at it, but
No.
I still could not bring my phone out of my pocket. I could not take a picture.
People were like, we didn't see shit from your trip to LA. And I was like, because I felt so fucking like
stupid.
Weird.
Yeah.
To be like documenting things when literally that's what everyone was there to do.
I know. I just, we gotta figure out how to do that.
No, we'll
better
get better.
Because
we'll get better.
if anything, I'm so used to being like, la, 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 you don't see me, don't see me, la, la, la.
Don't look at me. But you
so
did.
Yes.
So Jerry was like,
said,
hey.
There's a photo booth.
Everyone
it's going to be
is over there
a
taking
professional
pictures.
photo that we're going to have.
The pictures were all coming out incredibly.
We're going to have actual content for us to post, and we don't have to worry. It would look
It's
normal
free.
for us to get in front of this camera instead of us trying to pose in front of our phones.
Sure. So I was like, let me drink a beer or two. And I will do that with you because there is a group of people surrounding it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was somebody that you knew who had a YouTube channel that you were
she is someone who I clocked from across the way, and I was like, oh my gosh, I watch all of her videos. I think she's wonderful. I think what she does is so important, and she's so cool. But I didn't want to like spook her.
Yeah, so you didn't say anything.
So I didn't say anything.
We just saw.
But she was standing over by the photo booth then when we went to have our photo taken.
So I was like, certainly not. I'll tell you right now, I don't want to do that. Not when those people are standing there and you're like, just fucking let's go. It's fine. Look at all these people doing it. And they were doing great. And honestly, I was like, they look like me.
Yeah.
I could get up there too and do it. So we do. And immediately I tell the person, I'm like, hey, I am not photogenic. She's like, everybody's photogenic.
You're going to have to tell me what to do.
Well, you've never met me before, ma'am. So just kind of pose me the way that you want to. But can we do like a couple that we want because they're similar to our early, we have a podcast, blah, blah.
Yeah, we explained our pose.
Then all of a sudden, the guy who's standing there with like the editing equipment, next to, by the way, as soon as the pictures are being taken, they're being like blasted
displayed on a screen.
On a big screen.
To everyone else. We don't get to see them.
No, but to everyone else.
Everyone else gets to see them.
So the guy was like, hey, did you change the settings? Because these pictures look a little different. And then immediately everyone looks over at the pictures and starts laughing.
Sierra looks at me and she goes, this is my nightmare.
This is my nightmare. Fucking nightmare.
This is my nightmare.
Let me go home and fucking die.
And I was like, they're not laughing at us, surely.
Weren't they?
But there's nothing else behind us, and they are looking directly at that screen. And I'm like, well, maybe the settings were like so crazy that it made like it look funky. But like,
no.
From what I saw on the back of the computer, I wouldn't think they were that drastic, especially because the person was like, I didn't change anything.
Yeah.
So
we were like, cool, it's just our faces then? Okay, amazing.
She kept telling us like, all right, now look, cool girl stare. And
I was like, I don't know how to
fuck.
fucking do that. Can you please just let me do the one smile that I know how to do? She was like, look cool. And I was like,
yeah. It's safe to say we didn't get any photos of us, quote unquote, looking cool. Any photo that she took with our cool faces, they didn't make the cut.
No. So the editor was like immediately,
he's like, so you want me to airdrop these to you? There's a whole 2. So I was like, sure.
Everyone else had like 10. Anyways, the point of that story, why I wanted to bring that up was because that was my nightmare. Truly. At a different point in my life, that shit would have kept me up at night. And a little bit of me was like,
I was really, and a little bit of me is still up every night now.
No, a little bit of me felt very much like it was high school, middle school. Like, oh my God, these people are everything to me. And that person specifically was a very popular, very big creator who I think, not to me, because I didn't fucking know who she was, to be honest. So you're going to laugh at me? I don't know who the fuck you are. But anyways, she's probably popular to some people. But what?
It was really disappointing to me.
Well, yeah, it was. So why I wanted to bring that up was I just think that I'm at a point in my life now where it was really nice to, after that, feel a little bit of sadness. Okay, because we did leave. Shortly after that.
we have to go.
I think we need to fucking go. And we walked to the hotel room, and I'm feeling sadness. And Corey can see it. And he's like, what's up? What's happening, Buttercup? By the way, we went there specifically because, not specifically, I wanted to go for the whole thing. But Holly and Bridget from Girls Next Door, the Girls Next Door on E, but now they have a podcast called Girls Next Level. That was a show that I had watched, first of all, when I was entirely too young to watch it. And I watched it with my mom and my sister. So now I looked at my mom and I was like, why the fuck would you let me
wrong with you?
But anyways, I've always been kind of like, not starstruck, but like I knew you. I felt, you know what I mean? So like they were teaching a podcast masterclass later on. And I was like, that's kind of why I wanted to go. But we left before that could happen because we were all feeling like shame. In some way or another.
So much shame.
So we get back to the hotel room. Corey's like, what's happening? I should mention that I also wanted to leave because my fucking feet were bleeding into my shoes.
That's true.
Everyone.
You're going to show him a blister?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
You can't see it that much. It's just a little scab now. Anyways, if you saw that, that's nothing to what it looked like. We walked there in these shoes that I've worn so many times and I thought would not be an issue. And it felt like it was rubbing against my feet, but nothing bad. And then I like looked at it when we got to the venue and I was like, I am bleeding.
We had like, one number
for
a contact person who was like one of the like senior people for Patreon. They're like, hey, if we don't run into each other organically, here's my number. We're so excited to have you guys out here because we were invited.
We were.
But
we're the motherfucker here.
They invited us just to make fun of us. My nightmare.
Oh my god, again. It's like, we chose you to be the prom queen because you're so fucking stupid.
Hey, come be on our podcast so we can tell you you're not a real podcast.
LA really fucks with us.
I'll tell you. Patreon, we're wonderful. Everyone
incredible.
was wonderful.
Except that one fucking person.
And like they were so like we talked to Jack, who was the CEO, the creator of Patreon, and he was so nice and like
so down to earth, fucking cool.
And like I knew that he had spoken about us like to his company. I know that he had shared about us on his platform, but like he also like when we introduced ourselves was excited to meet us in person and congratulated us. So it was like it's all for me. He was not just a for show kind of person. But
I agree.
Anyway, we had one person's number. And so when I got there, I was like, hi, we're here. Sierra is bleeding. So if you have any Band-Aids, we would be so grateful. And so then like 4 people are on Band-Aid hunts to bring up, and they bring me 6. And they're like, will this do?
By the way, because I had them on both feet and they were huge at that point. Anyways, so when we get back to the hotel room, I'm like, I just need to take my shoes off. And then I sit there and I let my fucking Achilles rest for a second. And I look at Corey and he's like, you seem sad. And I was like, I think I just didn't want to, like, I think I could do it. Let's go back. Because I told him about what was happening. And he was like, fuck those people. Corey's really good at doing that. He's a real fuck those people type of guy. And I was like, you know what? You fuck those people. He was like, who gives a shit about that person? I was like, honestly, fuck them. Yeah. Let's go. And he was like, you want to walk back? And I was like, I do want to walk back. Let me change into something comfy. Because I was trying to be, I don't know what I was trying to be. When I dressed before, I was thinking of other people. And this time I was like, I'm thinking about myself. I want to be comfortable. And I fucking did that. And then we walked back. And honestly, we saw that person coming out. She was a real bitch to someone else. And I was like, wow, it turns out I think that you just suck as a person. And in my mind, the reason why I brought that whole thing up was that little Sierra was like, oh yeah, that's right. Those people are like that because they're fucking miserable people. Sorry, there's something wrong. Or honestly, maybe you're not and you're just a mean person, in which case, go fuck yourself. I will never see you again and I don't want to see you again. And what honestly did that do to me?
I'm so scared.
Of you or what, her?
No, yeah.
Fuck them.
I know, but in my mind, I'm like, maybe she's having a bad day.
Maybe she was. But you don't get to take your bad days out on other people.
Okay, fair.
I don't care. I don't care. And if you weren't laughing at me, that's fine. You should have done a better job at letting me know that, because we looked straight at you and said, "Are you guys laughing at us?" And they continued to laugh. I said, "Oh my God, I hope they're not laughing at us, because this is my nightmare trying to make it like a ha ha hee hee. You guys aren't, right?" And they continued to laugh and then talk amongst themselves. Yeah. So I think probably
that is a true statement.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. You can give people the benefit of the doubt, but you can also remember that you're a badass bitch all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And
I feel that.
Who gives a shit what those people think?
I know.
You do. I do. Let's talk about it.
No, we don't have to. But I will say that there was another creator there that I saw when we first got there, and then I was like, I really want to say hello to her, because I know of her, and I think that how she started her platform and what she does is like really cool.
Okay,
and
this
then
part's cool.
We did see her being like interviewed on her way out.
So cute, by the way. I actually gave her a thumbs up, and I was very embarrassed about it, because I was like, "What are you doing, you freaking weirdo?" She said something, and then she looked at me, and I was like, "Go girl, you go girl." So embarrassing.
And so I actually messaged her when we left.
Yeah.
And she was so sweet. So Irene, if you're listening, because you said you were gonna.
Yeah.
Welcome. We're happy to have you here.
We are. And thank you for being awesome. And a lot of that, like I said,
thank you for being very much in person.
You are
yes.
online.
Yes.
Most of the people were. I will say that. But there was just a negative experience. And the only reason I wanted to bring that up was because I know we have a lot of listeners who are young, maybe high school, maybe just out of high school.
Or not.
And goddamn, do I remember the fucking way that I felt like those people who had that hold on me were going to like actually make a difference in my life. And by the way, they didn't. All those people that made me feel like that in high school come up to me now and they're like, "Love what you're doing, Sierra. I listened to you." And I was like, "Really? You shoved me in a locker one time."
Can I tell you that I also feel like that is true of people who aren't even in high school or freshly out of high school, because like when I was, well, this is a bad example because I was a teacher in a high school.
Yeah,
but I feel like people in a workplace can feel this as well,
especially if there's like a corporate-y type
or
of,
even like
you have
clicky.
to really,
you know what I mean?
Know. Hey,
because like at the school that I was at, but any school, honestly, any school I've ever taught at, I was a part of like the cool kids.
God damn you.
And like I know that when we walked down the hall as like a clique, and like there was certain rooms that like people knew we were going to be in, and like other teachers assumed that we were going to be together. Like it was almost to a point where I'm like embarrassed thinking about it now. But after the 2020 election, and I realized who they really were, and some things were said to me, and I was like, "No, thank you for that."
I don't love that.
I watched the group then walk down the hall without me, and like meet in rooms without me, and I was like, whoa, holy shit, there is this air of I'm an other.
Yes.
I'm like, that was bizarre.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And that I was an adult in that moment, and
yeah, there is definitely.
It was like slow motion.
Doesn't feel good when you're left out. And that's what we're here to talk to you about. Because actually, that kind of does a little bit transition.
It does
into what we're talking about,
which is our
4-year anniversary. Oh my God, you're turning into a little girl boy,
little toddler, little baby.
Yeah, it's a little. You're not a not a toddler, not yet a child.
That's definitely not the lyrics of Britney Spears.
No, I'm doing my own.
Scored 7 years ago.
4 always seems like such a weird age for me, because I'm like, you're certainly not a toddler anymore.
We're warped 4.
We're warped. You're not a toddler. You're way past that.
Yeah.
You can say all the words. You're probably potty trained, but you're certainly not a child. I wouldn't call you a child.
I wouldn't call you. You're a child. You're not a kid.
Yeah, you're not a kid.
Yeah.
You fucking. Where are we at?
We're talking about the podcast.
Okay. So anyways, where I wanted to go with that was we have submissions.
We have submissions from you guys to help us celebrate the podcast's 4th birthday,
because we were like, hey, you don't have to talk all the way about us, but like we do want to know how this is
your turn to tell us about
your
and
life,
how you connect with us.
Other. Fucking A.
Can I tell the story about how I cried in the elevator in LA?
Please. I've been waiting. We have so many LA stories, so I'm sorry if you want more.
I don't know that we have that many.
I do. Jerry was asleep while we were in a room
I
a lot.
was.
I was out on the town.
I was in a funk. And like we got back from dinner after Creator Fest.
Probably.
Like we went straight to dinner.
That's right. Yes, we did.
And it was a late dinner.
And it was so, especially for us, because we were kind of like jet laggy. Yeah. So like it was late for LA times, but we're also like on time that is 3 hours ahead of that, or like, you know. Yep. So yeah, it was late.
So they're all just vibing, eating, drinking some beers, and I'm sitting there counting down the minutes until they're done having their beers. And everyone like had ordered 2 at some point, and I was like, okay, you can make it. And then Shane orders another one, and I'm like, all right, he'll drink that fast because he can tell that I don't want to be here right now. Yep. And then as soon as Shane is finished, Corey orders another one. And Sierra goes, Corey! That is how she says his name. Oh, Corey!
Because I could clock that Jerry was ready to go. But God,
Jerry doesn't want to be here anymore.
God,
I'm like,
love that man.
My God.
He is so oblivious sometimes to the world. He's like, we're out. We're having a good time. Shane got another. Because that's what he said. He goes, well, Shane got another one. I go, like, but he's almost done with this.
Why didn't you order when he did? But I was like, no, it's fine. Corey. He felt so bad. He was like, I'm sorry. I'm a piece of shit. I'm like, no, you're not. I was like, you're not. You guys don't have to stop having fun because I'm a sad sack.
Didn't clock that you were ready to go.
Yeah, but again, you guys you shouldn't have had to leave because I was like not in my own body.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I was like, I'm just going to go back to the hotel. You guys keep doing what you're doing. And Sierra's like, do you want me to come with you? And I was like, no, I'd prefer no one see what I'm about to do in this elevator.
Fair enough. Say less.
So our hotel was next door. It wasn't like I walked very far.
Not at all.
And so I get into the elevator and I immediately start crying. Our floor, we're on the 11th floor. Okay. So I think that's so much time for me to just cry. And then the doors open on 4th floor. And the people get on. And I said, what floor? And they go 6. And I go, I'm sorry, this is going to 11. And they go, okay, can we stop at 6? And I was like, oh, yeah, that does come after 4, huh? I felt so fucking stupid. Not only because I was crying,
like hiding that, but you're like, oh, fuck, shit.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry, this taxi's not going there.
They're like, really?
Your seat's taken.
Because I think that up is the general direction we were planning to travel. That's where you're going.
Yeah. So then I just went to I sucked in my tears long enough for 2 floors until they got, I would have like, use the stairs. Oh my God. I'm on the 11th floor. It makes sense that I'm in the elevator. You were going to go up 2?
Get out of here.
Get out. Let me cry alone. You can use the elevator for how many floors. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
We're not going to yell at you about that.
No judgment. I just wanted to be alone.
I will say, speaking of just like the way that I was in LA versus the first time, I feel like I'm a real chameleon versus like with who I am such a I'll do whatever you want to do, babe, like type of bitch. Where, like, and I'm not upset about it. It's not like be your own person. Like, no, I'm genuinely happy just hanging and doing whatever you want to do.
As long as I'm not making decisions, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. I'm just here to have fun. Yep. So the fact that Corey was there and Shane sometimes as well, both of them were really they were rallying, and I was like, guys, word, but also okay, I'm here, I guess, if you are. So like there were a couple times where we were out far later than I intended to. And then at one point, Corey was like, let's go find, he needed something that we could only find at a gas station. Yeah. And so I was like, sure, let's do that.
Motor oil.
Corey. Don't ask. So I'm like, let's walk there. That'll be a fun adventure. Do you know what's not fun is walking around LA when you're drunk at midnight downtown LA.
I'll do that.
That turned into not an adventure really fucking quick.
Yeah.
But anyways, we found where we needed to go, and it was all fine at the end of it. So
I just wanted to spend a lot of time reading ACOTAR.
Oh. Speaking of.
Well, the whole series.
Speaking of, did I tell you I started a new Sims game? And I have all the Akatar. I found them in the gallery. And I downloaded their river house. I downloaded their fucking Farrah's cottage. And I downloaded all of the Akatar people. Now, I had to move them separately into separate houses but now the sisters are all there. And immediately, by the way, spoilers for Akatar, please. So bump ahead. There's not, but by her reaction, you will find some. Immediately, Azriel and Farrah start fucking flirting, and they do it. I know. But then Cassian and Nesta decide that they just want to be woohoo buddies.
Well,
which I'm like, fair.
Okay.
So they do that thing, but because I have wicked whims, Farrah and Rhysand decide that they want to be woohoo, but they're a little bit more involved because he really likes her. She doesn't like any of them, by the way. She thinks they're all basic looking, which I think is fucking hilarious.
I'll tell you, I'm at a point where I'm like, can you be less you?
I know.
Farrah, darling.
Could you? So,
but anyway, that's where I've been. If you're like, Jerry, why aren't you on the internet? Why don't you know what's happening with Starbucks? Because I'm reading about fairies having sex. Okay?
It's true. It'll suck you the fuck in.
It sure will.
So
I was listening.
Wait, I have to tell you. Because it's the only last part. They woohoo the same time Cassian and Nesta woohoo. They both have babies. They both become pregnant. Farrah and Nesta. Same timesies. So now I have 2 little Fae babies.
Babies.
Who are going to grow up together basically as siblings because they live in the same room. They have the same fucking nursery.
Interesting.
It's so cute. But they keep fucking around with people. So right when Nesta was in labor, Elaine fucked Cassian on the bed. That Nesta had just given birth in as she's downstairs suckling her baby at her teat while Farrah is in the birth pool giving child.
I feel like you're using so many words, but like they're like kind of should go near each other, but I feel like some are missing. Anyway, go ahead.
And then after that, Azriel was like, Nesta, you're looking pretty fucking hot. What do you think? And she was like, let's do this shit. So I allowed that to happen because I was like, I just caught those 2 upstairs fucking. So now Nesta's fucking Azriel. Rhysand and Farrah are married because, of course, they are.
So hey, I feel like that this whole Sims like you got to start your own swamp.
I do. It's been crazy. So, anyways, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so what I was gonna say is, if you don't have us on Patreon, I just talked about how awesome I think it is. This is not sponsored, but sponsor me. I think it's amazing that Kindle and Audible work so well together.
Yeah.
And like whenever I'm reading, I can then go in the bath and listen on Audible.
So nice.
And it knows exactly where I left off. And so I'm in the bath.
And
I get to a point where Reese is about to lick something and I go, what? And then she goes
listen to that shit because my kids, they fucking know
they
what
were
words
asleep.
are. Oh, okay,
but
good.
she said something about like, and then I thought of my sisters and I go, weird time to bring them up. Weird fucking time to bring them up.
What are you talking about this?
Not right now. Anyway.
I'm just very aware of the fact that I said my kids know what words are, implying that yours didn't. I didn't mean that. I just mean that my son would hear Akatar differently than my daughter.
Well, okay. In the car, I was listening to it, and something happened where someone pulled their pants down, and Ollie goes, or Forrest goes, what? Him pulling pants down? And I was like, and now we turned this off.
This is the point where I realized you can't listen to this.
Can't listen to this. Also, speaking of don't listen to this around your kids.
Please.
Okay, right now, what I'm about to say to you, if your children are around, turn it off, turn this back on later when you're not around them. My fucking kids yesterday. I'm telling them, hey, tomorrow we're going to go see a Christmas tree. We're going to go and take pictures, Christmas pictures as a family. And Forrest goes, oh, and see Santa? And Ollie goes, Santa isn't real. And I go, Oh my God. And Forrest goes, yes, him is. He's just at the North Pole. And Ollie goes, he's not real.
Ollie, you can't be that fucking kid.
I know. He goes, he's not real, and he's not at the North Pole. We had just watched the Santa Claus 2, and Forrest goes, no, because that Santa with the plastic butt is there. The toy Santa, of course. And so Ollie goes, Mom, is Santa real or pretend? And I was like, yes. He is both real and pretend. I start speaking in Akatar riddles. And
figure this out.
I go, do you understand? And Ollie goes, no. And I said, well, Ollie, not everybody celebrates Christmas. So I can't say whether Santa is real as a person or not, but he is very much real as an idea and as a character and as something that families do to celebrate
He doesn't give
Christmas. Do you understand? No.
No. I was like, he didn't get any of that shit.
And I said, well, Ollie, Santa is like a game that we play, and different families have different rules. And so it's not our job to tell other kids about Santa and who Santa is. It's very important to them, and it could make them very, very upset and sad if we're the ones who tell them that. And he goes, okay. And I said, do you understand that me and Daddy are Santa? And Forrest goes, what? And I said,
oh no, Jude.
I know. And I was like, Dad,
crushing him.
And I said, Mommy and Daddy, we are Santa. And he goes, that's our family. Santa's our family. And I was like, Santa is everyone's family. So like,
you're not understanding.
Yeah. But I think Forrest thought it was really cool.
Oh,
he's like, fucking sick. My parents are Santa.
Be careful, because I did that at school, and then everyone in elementary school made fucking fun of me for so long.
I feel like I'm in a really shit position because I have one kid who's going to tell everyone that his parents are Santa, and the other one is going to be like, Santa's not real.
Yeah.
Which then by the transitive property means Forrest doesn't have any parents.
It's not good. It's not good.
Anyway, I'm figuring that out. We're navigating it.
We're navigating it. We're going to figure it out.
I was like, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck.
That was in the car?
In the car. Yeah.
Yikes.
Santa's not real. I'm like, don't say that in preschool.
Oh my God, you're going to have so many fucking parents so mad at you.
I know.
Especially at 4-year-olds.
I know.
Oh,
I'm fucking trying to navigate this. I was like, I'm not going to tell my kids. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. They have a
and
mind
here
of their
the fuck I am being like, you shut up. You stop telling the truth. You stop telling the truth. We keep secrets. And he's like, I thought you said we don't keep secrets. And I was like, well, I did say that.
But other parents are going to beat mommy up if you don't.
This one we have to keep. This is other adult secret that we have to keep. And he's like, you told me I definitely shouldn't keep adult secrets. And I was like, oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, parenting is fun.
Yeah. Anyway. Celebrate. Celebrate.
Here's some 4-year anniversary things.
Yeah.
Here we go.
They're
okay,
like, fuck you. You told my kids that it was real.
And by the way, fuck you.
The Santa talk is done.
This one says, hello, my name is Arlo. They, he. Say it loud, say it proud. I picked it myself. I have been listening to you guys since the judges said you were amazing. Oh, well, isn't that interesting? Maybe you'll see us. Around.
We're feeling judgy, if you know what we mean.
And I've been here since. You guys have helped me in so many ways and finding community, but this isn't about how you helped me. My best friend, we will call them August, fake name, they, he.
Oh, I love that name.
So do I. I always thought about you and I both thought about that for boy names. But then you didn't do it, and then I didn't
do it because I really wanted to call him Gus, and then I found out my mom had a pervy uncle Gus, and she's like, please don't do that. And then Shane was also like, he's gonna be born in August. It's gonna be weird if his name is August, and also his birth month is August. And I was like, that's fair.
I feel like it's weirder if they're not. This is August. He's born in June.
This is June. She's born in May. This is May. She's born in June. I feel like that's normal, right? Now, if I'm like, this is November, he was born in February, that's like, aren't if you named November?
I would actually love that name. Novi.
Novi's cute. You
That's
would name a
so
kid
cute.
November and call her Novi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
Okay.
Your kids are fucking down on the kids about Santa.
I said that talk was over.
I'm sorry. Well, you shouldn't listen still. We say bad words. That's worse. All right, here's the deal.
We said come. That's worse.
Well, that's so much worse. We've been friends for 5 years, but for a year we didn't speak because they were in an abusive relationship.
Aww.
We talked a lot, and we talked a lot about me with an abuse. Sorry. I'm trying to figure. We talked a lot, and me with an abusive birth mother could relate to some of the things. It made my whole body hurt to hear the person I love most go through things that I didn't know how to help with. So I thought about what helped me, and your guys' trauma bonding episodes, and those batch of them really worked. I sent over screenshots of about 4 episodes, and I told them, hey, give these a listen if you can. They're heavy, but they've helped me a ton. He called me crying that night, saying he never knew anyone else felt what he did, that he wasn't alone. They were not crazy, and I will forever be grateful. My August means the world to me, and I love them dearly, and I'm so happy that I could help them by giving them episodes of your podcast because it helped them a ton. Thank you, ladies, for helping people with the power of your episodes, even if they are not longtime listeners. P.S. Please never stop your Pride Story episodes. Those ones make me sob and feel so seen.
Oh, thank you.
So good. Thank you
Arlo
so
and
much.
August.
Yeah. Amazing.
Love you both
Yes.
so much. I want to write a whole folk album about you.
I do, right?
That's special.
Those are really good names.
Thank you. It's crazy to hear what episodes
did what for people.
Yeah. And what episodes people share to say this one
try
for
this
you.
one.
Yeah.
I just really
medicinal.
Yeah. Oh, what?
I kept cutting you off, and so I paused to wait to see if you're going to have something.
sometimes I really it's funny when you go back and think about you and I in those moments, and the fact that I was like, I think we should talk about this, just it was such an on the fly thought. And I even remember the trauma bonding episode being I cannot fit all this in one. We might have to do this in 2. And I'm sorry. And you being okay, well, yeah, we could do that. And both of us were kind of I don't know if people listen to this 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was one that I see being brought up so frequently that resonated with so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just really good. I like
special.
Yeah.
Makes us feel like we're not just poo-poo pee-pee people.
I know. And as much as I love being a poo-poo pee-pee people, a pee-poo, if you will.
I also
more.
I am. And I'm Cassian.
I'm Ameren. I do identify with Ameren.
You do identify. Yeah. I identify with that beast at the bottom of the library. Just give me a window and a friend.
I'll fuck something up until I get it.
Okay. All right. This is a voice message from Leanne. Oh, congratulations to us. Oh, sorry. I'm starting it over. At first I was like, is this thing on? I was like, is this Faith Hill? Because in the beginning it was desperate. That's what I thought it was saying. Anyway.
What's up, everyone? Hello. I am walking on my lunch break recording this, so apologies if you hear any road noise.
That's an accent.
And my breathing because I'm out of shape. But anyway, my name is Leanne, she, her pronouns. Also unrelated, while I was walking, I just passed this guy that was holding a kitten, and it was so cute. Anyway, so happy anniversary, guys. What the hell? That's so amazing. I'm so proud of you. I feel like a proud little sister moment. I found you guys during the pandemic on TikTok, of course, and instantly I was yes. I'm not a podcast person usually, but I was heck yeah, these 2, they're my friends. I just relate so much to you guys. in so many different aspects, and I really appreciate your vulnerability on the podcast. Like, you guys have helped me through so much. I've such a different person, and I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it's all because of you, you know, but like, honestly, it just felt less lonely to hear people's lives that have had similar trajectories as mine, similar traumas, and hear that it's okay to cut people out. It's okay to not be okay. It's like, you hear all of this, but like, to see it happening, it just really helped me find strength to do what I needed to do to be who I am today, to find love amidst chaos, to really be myself, to know myself more, and I'm finally in a place, and I'm gonna get emotional, I'm finally in a place where I can feel like I can be soft. I have spent so much time fighting for myself in my life, fighting for my peace, fighting for my happiness, and I am finally getting to the place where I feel like I don't have to fight so goddamn hard anymore.
Gets hit by a bus.
Ruining that emotional moment. But I've just, there's been so much time in my life that I've spent fighting, and it feels really good to just be surrounded by people now that care for me and love me and don't make me have to fight anymore. And you guys really helped me through all of that. So thank you so much. Sorry this is so long, and happy anniversary. I love you. Bye.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that was really beautiful.
I
said Jerry
sweet.
through that because she was crying, and I was just like, bitch. But truly, if I had what you were talking about, I would have cried right there. And that's something that, honestly, I'm like, did we help you through that? Because what she said there, correct?
Yes.
Is that she's able to feel like soft.
Yes.
And like, I don't want to be hard anymore. I can't say that without laughing.
I know.
But like, I've been hard for so long.
I'm so tired of being hard.
Rock hard. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at that, because truly the message underneath it is so real. And I'm feeling that way. That's why I'm like, how did I help you? And how can I do that for myself?
Yeah.
Because I just told Corey, I was, first of all, he's like, you've been drinking beer. I was like, okay.
Okay, Dad.
I was like, how do you know? And he's like, because you're being emotional. Because I was.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, yeah, and that's a problem, actually. The fact that I feel like I can't find my emotions sober is a problem that I'm realizing I have, where like, it's almost, I think my body is in like fucking defense mode too much, that I have to like knock down those walls with something to be like, hey, I need to let this out sometimes.
Right.
We can't have these walls up all the time. It's not healthy. But my body,
and we can't go to the Grammy Museum every day and sit and watch a compilation of Grammy performances to cry to.
I got this at the Grammy Museum. Okay, this shirt is my Aaliyah shirt. First of all, we did do that when we were in LA. It was one of the things on our little adventures we like stopped into. We started seeing like the Grammys on the walkway. And we're like, what the fuck? Yes. Oh, I'm feeling things. And then they were like, Grammy Museum. And we're like, well, we have to go in there.
Yeah, we have time.
And if there is one thing that will get me emotional, music will do it every single, music, movies, books, every single time I can release emotion through there. Why I can't with normal human life, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you would have put that, I told this actually to Rachel during our when me and Corey were reading our vows. I was like, put some music on in the background. I just need like while we were doing it. I was like, can you just do a soft music in your phone pocket or something?
Well, I set down a music.
You did. Well, yeah,
my phone
that's what.
with music.
That's what I'm saying. But I needed like some kind of in the background, because otherwise I don't.
Well, it is awkward
Yeah, but I just don't know why
But
I'm
yes.
broken like that. I can't have normal emotions if it's just like quiet. There needs to be a vibrato.
Yeah, I feel that.
Okay.
I feel that.
I
It's
just
almost
know
like
if I'm-
a distraction.
Something's wrong with me.
It's your brain is like, oh my gosh, look over here. And then the cry sneaks out.
Yes. I'm like, you didn't see that bitch, but we got it. It's out.
Ha
So anyways.
Not so hard anymore, are we?
Getting softer by the minute. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
That was a beautiful
I also, I'm so
submission.
sorry that I made a joke about you getting hit by a bus. I would never want that. I just, when you were getting emotional and then the truck went by, I was like, is this for real? And then you even mentioned, you're like, thanks truck for ruining this emotional moment. And if anything, that truck is right on cue because it knew like, hey, this is the peak cry moment. We got to bring her back.
Yeah, we got to get them back down.
I also didn't mean to do a hitting motion when I did that. Stay safe out there, San Diego. All right. Sierra's got the next one.
I just need you to know that mine are all really fucking sad. So just so you're aware. Oh, wait.
Why are you guys all so sad?
Wait a minute. This might not
is
be
a party.
Hold on. I might be wrong.
It's my party and I'll cry if I wanna.
Just kidding. I think I lost the one that I was thinking of. So, okay, but here's this one. Hi, ladies. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you the name, so I won't yet.
Okay.
Happy anniversary. I promise I won't gas you up too hard, but you were saying how we all get to connect with you, but you don't have the same opportunity to connect with us. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my connection to the podcast. I found you in the summer of 2021, right before I was about to start law school, and now I'm in my final year of school and about to become a whole ass lawyer.
Woo!
Lawyer!
Congratulations!
I don't know who is responsible for that because I certainly don't remember becoming qualified to be a whole ass lawyer. But I want you to know that I would not still be here working towards this if it wasn't for you both. Being able to sit down with you two every Tuesday and every other Friday is truly what gets me through some weeks, and you make me almost pee myself laughing while also somehow schooling me on something I wouldn't have learned about otherwise. I appreciate you both more than you will ever know, and if you go on tour again, please come to Boston. What's that?
Said I think I'll go to Boston.
Maybe. The car rental guy at the Boston airport that was addicted to Jerry for getting in the car she was told to get into can suck eggs. I promise we're not all that mean.
I thought they were going to be like, that's my dad.
Love you both so much.
Listen, in my mind, you know how I gave my Sierra impression of when she says, Corey!
That's true how I say it.
I also heard Sierra again in my head when you said that as someone who's going to be a whole ass lawyer, that we school you and stuff sometimes. I heard Sierra go, What? Shut up. I taught you something.
I do.
I'm a big stupid fucking idiot.
I am. But
that wasn't
lawyer?
Sierra. I mean, that was Sierra.
No, but I
like,
am.
I don't think that of her. She said it.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Really good, right?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Love that. We got another one? Can we pause for a second? I am going to pissy my panties.
Yeah. Hi, ladies. My name is Michaela, she, her. I'm 26 and I live in Wisconsin. It is a real state, I swear. Is Wisconsin the one? I thought it was Nebraska.
We do mansion in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah. I think that Nebraska is the one that doesn't exist, right?
Yeah. Except someone lives there that we just talked about.
Do they?
I can't say it on here. But maybe our manager, Maggie, has a connection to them.
Yes, you are right. Which, hi, Mommy Maggie.
Hi, Maggie. Love you so much. While we were in LA, we got to meet our Mommy Maggie.
We did. And I put my hair in today, and Sierra goes, you look so much like Mommy Maggie.
Oh, my God. When I was like the oddball out in a sea of redheads, it was beautiful.
We're taking over.
It was a beautiful moment. She was amazing. She's the best
And
thing I've ever wanted in our life.
I don't know if I brought this up with Two Girls, One Ghost, like that I said this to them, but it was very important to me to know what their height was. I also did that with Erica.
They're small little babies.
Did you know that I did that with Erica from the
So
Judgies? I was like, I need to know how tall you are.
How tall was she? Because she had heels on. I was not
I think
in
she's
shoes.
5'8". I think she's 5'8".
I know she was taller than me, but I also wasn't wearing shoes, and I know she was.
Yes.
At my wedding.
I'm pretty sure she's 5'8", which means that she's in charge.
Hell yeah.
If we're in a group together. And then Maggie's 5'10", and so Maggie's in charge
of us all the time.
Of us all the time.
Mother.
Otherwise,
she is our mother.
Otherwise, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
So
me and Corinne and Sabrina,
you'll never be in charge.
We can't be trusted because we're all like 5'3".
Yeah.
We're all so small.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. I'm writing this email in Comic Sans in hopes that it'll catch your attention.
Oh, I almost read that one.
I wish that it came up as Comic Sans on my phone because it just, I won't actually. It is Comic Sans, and wow, is my attention caught?
Hey, my attention was caught because I almost read it, and then I saw what email it was to, and I was like, "This is not for you,
I'm
Sierra.
not supposed to read that."
Supposed to.
I found your podcast in early 2021 on TikTok. I'm not a big podcast person, so admittedly, I didn't listen right away. But your videos appeared on my For You page a few more times, and they always made me laugh. So when I was standing in line for my COVID vaccine, my anxiety running rampant, I wanted to listen to something that would make me laugh, and I thought of your podcast. The problem is, I also have ADHD that I'm currently in the process of being diagnosed with. Join the club. So I simply did not remember your podcast name.
Fair enough.
I typed in TikTok, 2 Girls, 1 Couch podcast. And I shit you not, yours came up immediately.
Shut up.
And I've been listening ever since.
That's
amazing.
That's actually really good news. That's good to know.
That
we're known as
is.
the 2 Girls, 1 Couch.
Yeah, look at that branding. Oh,
Thanks, babe.
Pat her like a horse. This fucking baby.
Fucking good girl.
She is a good girl. I'm a proud goose pimp, and your podcast get me through my toughest days. Woohoo! Not about your tough days, but just your goose pimp. You silly goose. In the getting through. The goosing and the getting through. Getting through and the goosing.
Yeah,
I like that.
I do too.
I can't express how much you and your podcast have done for me, but I'm going to do my best. I've struggled with anxiety and depression for most of my life, but for a long time, I didn't know that that's what it was. When I started watching your podcast and heard you talk about going to the doctor, starting therapy, and going on medication, it helped me more than I can say. A year ago, I finally made an appointment with my doctor to talk about medication. I'm now on Zoloft. Zoloft crew, yeah. Boop, boop. Never been there, but and it's made a huge difference.
Yes, I have, but it was bad for me.
Yeah, that's not good for you. This drug is bad for me.
That's true.
And it's made a huge difference in my life. Then a few months ago, I started therapy. Hearing both of your experiences with it and how much it has helped you is what finally gave me the push I needed to reach out. Your open discussions helped me normalize the experience for myself, and my therapist has already helped me so much. Oh, yay.
Love that.
All of this to say, I wouldn't have taken these steps if it wasn't for you, or maybe one day I would have, but it would have taken me a much longer time to get there. I told my best friends about your podcast too, and they are both currently catching up on all your episodes, but they love it as much as I do. Thank you so much for everything that you do. You're both such lovely individuals, inside and out, and the world is a better place just by having you in it. You make a bigger impact than you may ever know, and I just wanted to be one person to say thank you. Love, Michaela.
That was really sweet.
That was really sweet.
Thank you.
Sometimes I get so caught up in the fact that this is a job that I forget, like, there's that part.
Impact
you know what I mean?
happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for taking the time to, like, share how
this
we've
touched you. Dude, I now continue to touch you consensually. If you want to touch you there. This plus Creator Fest is really giving me such a fucking
impregnated you.
Fucking boost, dude. I swear to God, I'm ready to impregnate something. I'm ready to give birth impregnation to an idea.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. 4-year anniversary. I'm sorry this will be long, and this also has trigger warnings for suicidal thoughts and behaviors. Okay, ready? Hey ladies, just here to share how incredibly proud and grateful I am to you both. I first found you on TikTok during my first semester of college 2 years ago in fall of 2021. While I was in my depression hole of laying in bed and avoiding every assignment that needed to be done. Been there. I was having an extremely hard transition as I moved 2 hours away from home and knew no one living in the city. This meant I needed to go out and be social to make connections, which turned out to be harder than I anticipated due to my anxiety being much more severe than I had realized. I soon began to listen to episodes while I got ready to go to campus my 2 days a week, and on my commute, I lived with my aunt that I didn't entirely like/get along with, but not having to pay for a dorm room seemed like it was worth it at the time. I slowly began to enjoy going to campus because I knew I got to listen to you both, and it made me feel like I had someone with me even when I didn't. I had gone home in December for that sweet month break of nothingness but work, and there I got my much-needed connection of people without having to truly try. I went back for my second semester hoping I could turn things around and continue to go to school, given that I was going for something I was truly interested in and wanted to do. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Every week I was hitting a new rock bottom and was finding no end in sight. Within my first 3 weeks, I had made an attempt because I felt no value within myself, because everything was a challenge that I could not seem to complete, and my best friend had for some reason cut me out completely, and I truly had nobody to talk to. This continued until spring break. I returned to work because a week with my mom seemed like a terrible idea. She's also a teacher. Yet again, I was able to make much needed connections, and I had a heart-to-heart with my manager who was able to pull me out of my darkness and essentially call me on all my bullshit that I'd been telling him. My sweet, sweet Cole let me just talk and rant and vent and get everything out and just listened unless I asked for his help/opinion. At the end, he was able to help me decide that Denver was not the place for me and that I needed more help than I was already getting. When I went back for the final 8 weeks, I began doing schoolwork again and going to campus and again listening to you both. It was one of your ads for Talkspace that I heard for the 10th time that I finally decided to check it out. Later that month, I started therapy. Although I only passed 1 class out of 5, I made it out of there alive. And when I think of the good times, I always think of your theme song and me beginning to find comfort in your voices and the hope and stability that they gave me. I truly don't believe that I would have made it out of my first semester if it weren't for my long-distance big sisters that gave me exactly what I needed to hear every single day. I love you both more than you'll ever know. Forehead kisses, Lexi, she, her. Was that a good one? Sweet, sweet, sweet Lexi. You made Jerry emotional.
They always do, but like,
I'll go and cry about this at home later. Don't you freaking worry.
Whenever the sentence that got me, because I mean, every story that we hear is like beautiful and meaningful and impactful, but like the sentence that got me was, I only passed 1 class out of 5, but I made it out of there alive.
Yes. Same.
To know that you were like, you know what? Yeah, I failed the majority of those classes.
But this was a win. Still.
But this is a win, and I'm still here. And guess what? I don't care if you fail 1,000,000 classes as long as you're here. And like the fact that we got to be a part of the reason that you have the opportunity to fail so many more classes. Like, that is so thank you. Like,
hey, I just want
thank you for staying.
Yes, thank you for staying. And also the other day, my son, he said to me, he was like, well, what did you go to college for, Mom? And I told him, and he's like, well, like, but like, what college did you go to? I told him, he's like, so you have a bachelor's degree? No. Oh, do you have a master's? No. Do you have a doctor's? I was like, not even an associate's. He goes, but how long were you going to college? And I was like, we don't have to talk about this right now. He's like, well, I don't understand. And I was like, I failed the first time. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah.
Well, and I think,
but it's okay.
I was going to say that.
Look, well, that's what he was. It was almost like not a great moment, but it was. But he was like, oh, I'm good then, because look at you, you're successful and you failed. And I was like, that is true, but you also should try.
You should try. Well, I think it's important to know that like college was pushed on us
really
so
hard.
Heavily.
I was like, if you don't, that's why sometimes I ask him so much, like, what do you think you want to do? Because I don't want you to feel like college is your only option ever.
Because it's not. And if anything, they sent a bunch of kids to college knowing damn well they weren't going to have any fucking jobs for them.
And that we couldn't fucking pay for it. Yeah. And they were like, this is going to be funny.
It was watching an entire
racket generation get bankrupt.
Yep. pay me a bunch of fucking money for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna make $4 billion off of my house that I bought for 4 potatoes.
You sons of bitches.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your story, and thank you for saying it. I did think of you in that moment where it was like, you know what? Yeah. So fucking sue me. I failed out of college, but look at me now.
And when I think of that moment where I was standing there, where I thought those people were like, whatever, laughing at us, in that moment. Okay, because it happened so without even trying to acknowledge it. I'm like, they know that I'm a failure. They know I'm stupid. They know I'm ugly. Obviously. Like so many
Obviously, it's on the screen.
They can see it. It's so big. And all of those things. And then I was like, you know what, bitch? You are fucking successful. And if there's any, bitch, you are funny. I know you're funny. And I
love you,
mom.
Bitch. I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch.
And yeah, who the fuck is that chick? And who are those people? They mean nothing. And guess what? You're a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm not
That's
gonna
what Beyonce
give
told
up.
me, and that's what I always remember about
I'm
myself.
not gonna pass any of this classes.
I thought you were gonna say I'm not gonna pass go. Not gonna get $200.
I'm gonna go straight to jail.
It's fucking rough out here. Wait a minute, I need to tell you this. Speaking of that, sorry.
Speaking of jail,
speaking of it not getting $200, because we had a movie night the other night. Yesterday, actually, I had a fucking horrible migraine. We were supposed to record yesterday. I could not get out of bed. It was so bad. And then it finally started to go around like 6. And my children wanted to watch, one of them, Noah wanted to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
He fucking loves that movie. And Sawyer's like at the age where she's actually giving a shit about movies. So I was like, this might be fun. And my mom was like, can I come over? I'll make popcorn. We can have and so she brought my sister over. We were all there, right? Okay.
You should have fucking invited me. My kids fucking love Jackson Skellington.
It all happened very quickly, and I didn't realize that they were all coming. And then all of a sudden, everyone was there.
That's fine.
And I was like, So, but next time. We found out that my basement is a great place to have movie nights.
Of course it is.
And so nice. So while it's happening, my baby's playing on the floor while we're all watching the movie. And I think that she was saying pole because she knows certain Christmas words. So I think she meant North Pole, but she was looking at my sister and she just kept going, pour. Pour. I was like, I think she's saying pole. And my sister goes, well, she's really hurting my feelings. And then I started singing, there's some pores in this house. Really
that is good. That is good.
I do think she was trying to say pole, and she was trying to get my sister to acknowledge that she knew what a pole was, but she just kept staring.
She's
and
like,
pointing
yeah,
at her
I know what a
and
pole
going,
is.
Pole,
Sawyer.
pole. She was like, why is she calling me poor?
Your daughter's fucking rude.
She's bullying me.
Question: is your last one from a Samuel?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. All right, this is my last one.
Okay.
Sierra's got one more as well. If we didn't get to all of them, I'm so sorry. Just know that we do read them and we play to like listen to more, because I know that like they've been coming in.
As I had already had them.
Yeah, and you guys don't necessarily know when we record, so just understand, like, we do read them. They mean so much to us. Thank you.
Yeah, because literally as we were sitting here, I saw some come in and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. So this one also has a trigger warning for suicidal thoughts, addiction, and abuse. Hi, ladies. Sometimes I read those and I was like, wow, what? That is shocking to me that all of them have this in common. And then I'm like, oh, yeah.
Because us.
Because that was what we did.
Yeah.
Fucking duh.
Yeah.
Anyway. I was like, we have so much in common with these people.
I wonder why.
I know, I don't understand. Hey ladies, my name is Sam. Pronouns are he, him. I'm sorry for any spelling or poor grammar. It's never been a strong suit for me. I started listening to you around 2 years ago, fairly shortly after getting out of a pretty abusive situation. In these last 2 years, I have laughed with you, cried with you, learned with you. I'm a trans guy, so hearing you talk about all the different subjects of minority groups has truly not only made me feel safe, knowing you care, but also have given me the ability to learn new things, like the episode about sundown towns. On a more personal level, during my time of being a part of the podcast community, I have had to completely start my life over. From moving back home and losing almost all of my physical items to looking back at all of my trauma and finding a new understanding of my own mental health. I've had a rough relationship with both my mom and my dad my whole life. And between you talking about your life as parents and my own therapy, I've actually gotten closer with both of them. Definitely have oh my God, I can't fucking say certain words because there's so much like
congestion
in my nose.
Yeah.
Definitely have a ways to go still. I have also been able to get an ADHD diagnosis and learned that I'm actually autistic when I've been tossed around by therapists and hospitals between bipolar or borderline. I'm so fucking happy that you didn't give up on trying to find an accurate diagnosis and that people took you seriously in doing that, because it is going to, it's almost like something clicks into place and it is going to help you so fucking much.
Yep.
Even though I've had massive skill regression during this period and can no longer hold a job, which I could barely do in the first place, I've truly never been able to work through my trauma like this before. I used to be suicidal almost every day from the age of 8 to 21 and used video games as a way to make it through every day, which is sadly not talked about enough as a true addiction. This has only been the last 2 years of my life, which truly doesn't even begin to cover things. Yet during my time of listening and watching your podcast, I can say that I plan to stay up to date with the Ladies and Tangents and plan to till whenever you guys stop the podcast. Love you guys, and I hope this wasn't too all over the place, as my ADHD med has worn off already. And here's a picture of my pup Gizmo, who's always with me when I watch the YouTube videos.
Yes.
Oh, what a sweetie. Thank you for sending in your story, Sam.
Yeah, that was really good. That was the one that I knew that I had read over it, but I didn't like. So I thought that I started, but I must have been on the other.
You did start
email,
but it was on the other email. Yeah.
God.
That's
such a good one. I mean, it's not good, but it's just like I resonate so hard with it. And I think a lot of these, when I'm reading them, it is like what you said, where I'm like, wow, I feel like we're living the same life. How crazy. But it's like, of course, that
was the whole point.
Yeah, the people that would probably.
Yeah. Not only do I feel less alone, but also like sometimes people will say something in a way, and maybe that's, again, the podcast, but like,
yes, in a way
they'll
where
say
you're
it in a way where I'm like, oh my God, I never even thought about that.
Or like it's almost like where you feel like you got a burp, but it's not there, but it's coming up, but you're like, where is it? And then that person says it, you're like, that's it.
There's my burp. And then you belch so loud. No,
and
but
it finally feels like relief.
When you said that ever since you've gotten your diagnosis, you've had a skill regression, like I now want to look into that, because in my personal life, I know that there are people who are receiving diagnosis and they are trying to process what they're going through. And I never even considered that they would have some kind of a regression. And so hearing you explain that that's what you're going through now makes me kind of want to learn more to, help better interact with people in my own life. And then, I mean, if it gets to a point where there is like enough to talk about, we even could talk about something like that, because the way I see it is if it's something that I didn't know, there's no way that I'm the only person in the world who didn't know.
Well, so, I think that's another big part of the podcast. Yeah. Like a lot of people, I'm like, why are we talking about this thing? Everybody knows about this. And then it turns out that they don't. That's with the Starbucks thing. It's like you might think because it's something that you come across frequently that of course the whole world knows, but you would be, I think,
shocked. Yeah,
you'd be shocked at how different, just people, what they have access to and what they are intaking on the daily. All of everything that we come in contact with, it's very strange, because I think a lot of us get so much from our phones and social media instead of like a one news source like it used to be.
It's not unified. It's so customized.
Oh my God, it's so customized. And it's so, again, based on algorithms and
Which again makes sense as to how we all connected together, because the algorithm.
It did. But that's why it's just mind-blowing to me sometimes that like sometimes I'll be watching Corey scroll on his phone and I'm like, what the fuck is on your phone? It's just like so different than what I see. Or I'll try to explain something to him And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, what do you mean? It is everywhere. And he's like, I haven't heard a single thing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Anywho.
This one is very heavy. I just want everyone to know
Well, then I have one light one to end.
Okay. This, what the podcast has meant to me is what it's titled. Hello, ladies. I promise I won't gush all over you and tell you how awesome you are, even though you are. But after listening to the most recent episode, I wanted to write in and tell you both just how much this podcast has meant to me. So here's a little background on me. You guys can call me Denise if you share this, she, her. I'm 34 years old, a single mom to 2 awesome boys, and I work in the communication world as a marketer, content creator, and writer. I love all things creative, art, television, music. I love being around people, hearing their stories, reading and traveling, and I promise this will all be relevant in a minute. After my divorce from my children's father, I embarked on the journey of being a single mother. Determined to never get married or settle down again. Color me surprised. Sorry.
Is that the train? Anyway.
Determined to never get married or settle down again. Color me surprised when in early 2018, I met the most incredible man. Let's call him Joe. After a lot of back and forth, aka friends with benefits, due to our mutual fear of commitment and getting hurt, we finally decided to take the plunge and build a life together. Joe was a cowboy, a jack of all trades. He willingly came into my life and took on the father role and was my support system. He was open-minded and loved everyone. He was the life of the party and my absolute soulmate. In May of 2021, he asked me to marry him. We weren't into traditional things, so his version of a proposal was asking me if I wanted to go to the courthouse in the morning and make this thing official.
Sounds like a cowboy.
Yep. I accepted, but I insisted that we wait a few months before heading to the courthouse. 4 weeks after he proposed, Joe passed away in a vehicle accident coming home from work. The grief I felt sent me into a state... The grief I felt sent me into a state of shock and total disbelief. The suddenness of the accident added another level of trauma for myself and my kids. The deep sadness and anger I felt left me disconnected from everyone and everything that I loved. Once the person who loved to put my headphones in and listen to music all day or spend my weekends watching movies and reality TV, I couldn't find any joy or meaning in it at all. I stopped watching TV, I stopped listening to music, I stopped eating, I stopped sleeping, I stopped speaking. I couldn't even bring myself to walk into the grocery store or hear the sound of other people laughing. I couldn't understand how people still lived in a world without Joe in it. I know, this fucking... Joe's passing sent off an atomic bomb in my life, and I had no idea how to move forward in this new life when all I wanted to do was go back to the before. However, the one thing I could do was take a break from my grief for 1 hour on Tuesdays to listen to this podcast. I know it was a small thing, but for that short period of time, I could step away from the chaos that was now my life and focus on something else. Slowly but surely, through therapy, journaling, writing, communicating with other women who had lost their partners, I finally found my way through it all. I'm now happy to say, while you never move on or get over the loss, that 2.5 years later, I found a way to peacefully live with and accept my life today. While Joe may not be here in the physical sense, my boys and I acknowledge that he is still around us and as much a part of our lives as he was before. While I won't go as far to say that this podcast, quote, cured me of my grief, it did provide a small step in the right direction. Whether it was listening to a hoe story or a ghost story and learning something through Jerry and Sierra's stories, I learned to let myself off the hook and be present where I was, even if that place was really shitty and really sad. So I won't gush or tell you guys how awesome you are, but I would like to give you a bit of encouragement to keep doing what you're doing. Because you never know what it might mean to someone else, especially your listeners. Congratulations on all of your success so far. It is well deserved, and I wish you both continued success in the future. Love you guys. I'm out. Then they added a bit more. I'm so sorry. I'm going to hurt you more. I'm so sorry. They said if you decided to read this on the podcast, Please keep in mind that what's below includes mine and his real identity, so I won't say the names. However, I do want to include this because it says, I've attached our favorite photo of us together, and I've included a link to his wild ass funeral that we had for him. It was the cowboy shit he would have loved. He wasn't religious, so we didn't include any religion in it at all, but we read his 10 rules for life, which I've listed below, and opened up the mic for his family and friends to share stories about him, and there were some wild ones. He was truly one of a kind. Thank you guys again for all you do. So I'm going to end this with Joe's rules for life. That I'm going to end with.
Okay.
1, live your life like your mother will find out everything you do. 2, always be aware of your surroundings. 3, kiss your mom every chance you get. 4, always stand to shake hands and always take your hat off to a lady. 5, go out dressed like you're going to meet the love of your life. 6, when entrusted with a secret, keep it. 7, return a borrowed car with a full tank of gas. 8, always be a man of your word. 9, never be afraid to ask out the best looking girl in the room. 10, give credit, take blame. And my other personal favorites. Never miss an opportunity to wear a sports coat. Always carry a jacket in your truck. Let the steak rest for 5 minutes. A sane 6 is better than a crazy 9. That feels real to me.
That feels personal.
It did.
What if I'm a crazy 6?
When dancing with a woman, act like she's the only person in the room. Don't fill up on bread and chips.
Joe, I won't follow that rule. I won't.
Never turn down a breath mint. Eat lunch with the new kid. And self-awareness is the strength of an intelligent man.
I am trying really hard not to sob right now.
When I tell you that I fucking bawled reading that last night, like I took a moment and then I had to like, Corey came upstairs and I was like, can you just come sit beside me for a minute? Because I just need you.
It is.
To be beside me.
I feel really weird that I'm going to end this with this, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon that's connected to Ladies and Tangents because someone did that work. But I'm thinking about like the degrees to Joe.
Yeah.
To Ladies and Tangents. You know what I mean? And like to know that Joe is gone and he's been gone, but like somebody is going to laugh and somebody is going to cry and somebody is going to clutch their heart and they're going to feel something. And in that way, he's alive.
Yes.
Like he's alive through that emotion. And like, what a beautiful gift of him in the world still.
Yeah.
Knowing that, you know, she said like, I don't understand how people still go on in the world without him. Like we don't have to go on without him. You just gave so many opportunities to go on with him.
Yes.
And like,
well, I will say, let me bring
like,
it
holy
even
shit.
sadder.
I'm sorry. Like,
No.
like I can't. I always doubt us and the importance of what we do and like if it matters or if it's stupid or if it's just trivial and like, but knowing that we were a part of your healing or at least your
just an escape even if you needed it. I will say, and that's why I was saying I might get sad again. So I apologize. Just keep feeling heavy feelings for a second. Everyone, we'll be silly.
We'll
in a
be to
minute.
Kevin Bacon so shortly. Much like our flight that had to have an emergency upturn.
Girl,
anyway,
the fact that we didn't even talk about our flight. We'll talk about that later. Okay, but what I was gonna say was, sadly, but good. When we talked about in the beginning making the podcast, I remember feeling like the reason I was so invested in that idea was because I was listening to podcasts for a reason to get up and get out of bed.
Yeah.
It was like a treat that I gave myself. If you get up and get out of bed, you can listen to this and have fun because this is a thing that you're interested in and it'll make you laugh and you'll learn something and it'll be great. And I hadn't had something like that in a really long time. So like it was such weird motivation that I couldn't tell people that like I was getting really attached to these people because I'm like, you don't understand. They're the reason I get out of bed in the morning. And they're like, you have a child. And I'm like, don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't even feel bad that I didn't say him.
Sometimes he cries and that doesn't make me want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Okay? Sometimes I realize I'm his whole person that has to take care of him.
Right.
These people don't need anything from me. They're just there to be with me while I do all those things. And that is like what I need. And I remember thinking when we started the podcast, what you just said kind of about that situation with Joe was like, if this doesn't end well for me, oh, that's going to make me sad. Like, at least I'll have, my kids will have this. Or like, I'll live on in some way. In this
I would
way.
kill you if you ever
I
did
would
that.
fucking kill myself.
I will kill you if you kill yourself. I swear to God.
Same. And I want everyone out there to know that I will do it to all of you as well.
You remember when we said we would bully your mental illnesses?
I fucking will. I literally will. So,
Oh, fuck.
give us Kevin Bacon. By the way,
give me death.
I want you to know that the way that I found out that they wasn't a writer's strike anymore, that they were done striking, was because Kevin Bacon posted a TikTok of him dancing to Footloose.
Oh,
no, it was actually really beautiful.
That is really beautiful.
I cried.
Oh.
And that's how I was like, hey, I can't cry over like thinking about my past and what happened that was super traumatic to me. But I'm crying at Kevin Bacon in a bar dancing to Footloose. What the fuck?
He's allowed to dance again. Let him dance.
It's happening to me.
Oh, god damn. Fuck.
Goddamn fuck is right. That's what we should have named this bitch.
Goddamn fuck. I had another podcast idea.
What?
I can't tell it on here.
I'll
tell you after.
You'll get to know.
All right, so we're gonna end our anniversary with the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Does anyone cry on their anniversaries as much as we do, or what?
Truly. Okay. Ladies and Tangents, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
If you guys don't know what this is,
yeah. So this
you're 14.
Look it up. No. But the 6 degrees. So there's a thing that's like
there's a
you
theory.
haven't made it in Hollywood until you can get like
I
right.
thought it wasn't even just in Hollywood.
No,
I
that's
thought
supposed to be like a Hollywood thing.
No, I thought it was just anyone. I thought
No.
anybody can be like 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon. Like there's some kind of weird jump where everyone in some way
to Kevin
is
Bacon.
connected to Kevin Bacon. Like he is the alpha, the omega, the center. Okay.
Okay, well, I had only heard it that like you were you knew you'd made it in some way in the industry if you could connect.
I thought
yourself.
anyone could connect to Kevin Bacon.
Either way,
Because before my uncle, here's one that you guys don't know. My uncle, which I've talked about before, is in the entertainment industry on the production side. My uncle had like a private concert done for him. I think it was sound check, but he calls it a private concert from Shania Twain.
Yeah.
And so from me to my uncle to Shania Twain, I don't know where we go from there, but I feel like Shania Twain could have a quick jump to Kevin Bacon. You know what I mean?
Gotta be there somewhere.
I feel like it's just a hop,
but
skip, and a jump.
6 degrees?
Well, at that point, it's 3. So from Shania to someone to Kevin, probably.
Maybe. Okay, let's go.
All right. I've never done a 6. This is from Kaylee. Kaylee, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that it's from you, but I'm not going to say any other words. And we're millennials. There's 1,000 Kayleys. Okay. I'm not even going to say how it's
At
spelled.
this point, it could be anybody.
It could be anyone.
I graduated with 6 Kayleys.
I did. Oh, hey, EYIELI. Who knows?
E.
Or I've never done a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon before, and I thought I would give you the honors as I attempted the puzzle. Ladies and Tangents hosted Hank Green. Hank Green has been a guest on the My Brother, and Me with the McElroy brothers.
I didn't know that.
The McElroy brothers are good friends with and have done promo with Lin-Manuel Miranda.
The fact that we're even that many degrees to Lynn.
I know. Lin-Manuel Miranda was on a Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode with Andy Samberg.
Okay, I love that.
Andy was in Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping, in which Emma Stone made an uncredited appearance. Emma Stone was in Crazy Stupid Love with Kevin Bacon.
Yes!
So there we are.
We did it.
Fun!
We did it. That's what my
Yeah.
daughter says now. anytime we do anything, she comes out of her room. She goes, "We did it."
Well, my son says, oh yeah, you got it. And then the other one says, Santa isn't real. So sorry, I told you that wasn't going to happen again. Anyway, thank you guys for 4 amazing years. And to so many more. Thank you for everything. You've changed our lives. As much as you guys tell us that we have made an impact in yours, you have completely changed ours.
100%.
And we are eternally grateful. All I can hear are the Toy Story aliens. You saved our lives. We are eternally grateful.
I think that's perfect.
That was such a good impression. I feel
Honestly, that was fucking fire.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we love you so much. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
We're out.
Goodbye.
You saved us. We are eternally